She is volunteering to work the orange and white game, and she'll be doing like the boxes and stuff. And she's going to be doing the elevators to make sure people don't take alcohol on the elevators. I didn't even know they were allowed alcohol at Thompson Bowling. I mean, not Thompson Bowling, but football stadium. And if she does well, then she'll do everything. So I'm happy for her.
Yeah, it's gonna let her drive.
Y'all down with one city, get y'all camera there, so.
We have season passes, so we'll be there too.
Oh, okay. I thought she might be just going solo.
Have that.
No,
have
I'm
that
not.
camera up
I'm
there,
not. She doesn't
lined
have
up.
license so
Must
much,
have
and
earthquake or something.
she's not leaving Kingston until we do.
It's all off.
I understand.
I don't know how my mother did it, because I maybe took 2 driving lessons from my parents, and they let me out on the road. I'm like, no, what? Why? I need to do that.
That was cool. We got to figure that out. No discussion.
One time somebody had an air freshener.
I don't know. I know it's
It
spring.
smells like water. Walk down the corridor on your way out.
Oh, I come in that way. It's, I don't know what it is, but you're right, I mean, it's.
It doesn't look like there's water intrusion anywhere.
Yeah, I have some trouble.
It's what it's like first.
Maybe it's just because maybe it doesn't have ventilation. It won't steer well.
That wouldn't work. I have some.
Somebody did throw it down. Yeah, I think so. They get turned out.
It's cheaper than that.
Get everybody on camera.
What happened? You think it was
Move the seats. Take that chair out.
well, especially, did you?
But yeah, you in the front page, there in the middle of that.
Oh, wait. You take, I forgot. I always forget. Good.
It was like it would be.
No. Can't believe you asked me. Whose ticket that was?
Still got to sit down, man, you got no traffic light.
Oh,
I
we
know.
bought, we
They're
I'm
not
telling you,
just
we
eco-friendly.
no, and that, see, what they did is they did something. They used to pay you. I put them in tomorrow, and I say, find something, they're coming up with a paper that's supposed to be coffee cups. Yeah, they, besides that, we. I mean, I understand sour coffee, but. Yes. Said, you just, you go out and burn this to her.
That is her,
Yeah.
Marsha,
Yeah.
I was telling Tim, assistant that gets to oversee. So if that doesn't work out, I would like to be your daughter's assistant as well.
Well, let me tell you, if I had gone ahead and stayed and had grandchildren,
You would have went too. This is the second time she's come here. I wanna know, she, I mean, the way she travels that country, it just looks like so much fun.
instead of being granny at home.
Well, is gonna be a home thing, that she'll go.
I don't know. I mean, this is her second time, this trip was 16 days. She won't be back to my place, so I won't be able to.
Wow, that's amazing.
So, you know, he's on time. I miss soccer, but
She needs the, county maintained weed or something like that.
Sounds like it needs to be private land.
Crazy.
I know it's. They gotta quit, right?
You know, it's just informative.
Yeah, I thought so.
she had a quarter of a life.
I'm
so disappointed. That's good, and that's good. And my mother-in-law called me
Sir.
You don't need to get this stuff. Oh, I like
They
that.
look better when they're $300,000. That's either not.
Well,
TWR or what?
I would have given you a plane.
What? The paving and the phone ring and all that? How many years ago was that? The part? 15, 20 years?
I don't know how that.
So maybe if you probably give us something where the party got from the church ran right around.
And that's, I don't know.
Yes, you did right.
What did Brandon do? It was 80. No, it was 100%.
They were 80. That's what I said. McDonald's.
100% grant. And the order was $300,000 TWR. So that would be helpful.
Oh, the.
you look good in our.
Yeah, the food costs. We went to like, super expensive. We still have them. They were right there. I guess they should go. Kelly, are there any more agendas? Really? Huh, would they mind them? Tell them to stop at Lowe's.
You won't be on my job all the time.
It's me.
It's my tripod, I still get screwed, I keep ready to get Still got you, Karen.
Hey, if you don't get me, we'll probably hear you.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cold. I lost a piece. So that extends down.
That should take longer.
It's, so you're right. Looks a lot better. No, we're
What are they doing? So it's just one night or? Yeah, it's just something. And it, you have to tell them. It's kind of sick.
Good evening and welcome to the regular meeting of Kingston City Council. I call the meeting to order. I'd like to ask everyone to please stand. I'd like to ask everyone to lead us in invitation. Ms. Tompkins, she lead us in the pledge of flag.
Pray with me, please. Heavenly Father, once again, we come to you with grateful hearts. Thank you for what a beautiful day you've given us today. We just thank you for the flowers, the trees, everything, that comes from your hand. Want you to be with us tonight as we go into the city business, help us make the right decisions for the citizens of Kingston. We want to remember the season that's coming up, remember the reason for it, that you died on the cross for us and rose again to save us from all our sins. We give you thanks for that every day. And as always, keep us ever mindful of the needs of others. And give you praise every day. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ms. C. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilmember Bradford.
Here.
Councilmember Brown.
Present.
Councilmember Childs.
Present.
Councilmember Humphries.
Present.
Vice Mayor Stockton.
Present.
Councilmember Wright.
Present.
Mayor Hill.
Present. Do I hear a motion to approve the previous minutes?
I make the motion. Second.
Motion by Ms. Rice, second by Ms. Stockton. Ms. Wright, do you have anything to add?
I do not.
Deletions or corrections? Thank you. Madam Clerk, you call the roll and approve the minutes.
Councilmember Bradford.
Hey.
Councilmember Brown.
Yes.
Councilmember Childs.
Yes.
Councilmember Humphries.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stockton.
Yes.
Councilmember Wright.
Yes.
Mayor Hill.
Aye.
7 ayes.
Now it's time set aside for citizens' comments. Is there anyone wishing to appear before the council tonight? Be seeing none, I'll turn it over to Mr. Cole.
Thank you, Mayor. Wanted to take an opportunity, even though he's been on the job for a week, to formally introduce you to our new Parks and Rec Director. Most of you probably know him or have at least met him. If you haven't, then good chance you've probably seen his name on a sign somewhere. But But, Chase, if you wanna come up just a second, and you're welcome to say something, or shake hands, or smile, or whatever you wanna do. But wanted to introduce him, we're thrilled to have Chase. He came in a week ago, he's hit the ground running, already involved in several things, already doing some great stuff. So, I know we're all thrilled to have him, and, want to formally welcome you to Kingston.
Well, just like to thank, Mr. Bowling, Mr. Neal, council, and the Park and Rec Board for giving me this opportunity. I was the Park and Rec Director at Rockwood for 4 years. I'm looking forward to, kind of a new park and recreation here, and learning what all goes on. Like Mr. Bowling said, we've hit the ground running. We're making improvements at Southwest Point. We've got our first, movie night planned out there on May 4th. I believe this Friday, we've got a small fishing tournament coming in, with a lot of the utilities, TAUD, so that's this Friday. And, just looking forward, we've got a great staff, they all get along well, they've been here a while, they know what they're doing. So, we're looking forward to it, and we're gonna leave it better than we found it. Thank you, guys, I appreciate it.
Thank you, Chase.
Mayor, I'd like to make one comment.
Yes.
He really looks good in that orange. I mean, he stands out.
I told his daddy, if I get his daddy in one, we'd take good shape. All right, anybody else wish to address the council? Seeing none, we'll go into, the reports, Mayor and Council, start with Ms. Humphries, do you have anything to report?
Just our Park and Rec had our annual spring festival and everything went well. Every, vendor said they did well. We had some good comments about the music. And I'd like to take just a second and thank our sponsors, Randy Griffiths and Liberty Baptist Church, Enrichment Credit Union, Summit Medical Group, and Dr. Boris specifically, Marilyn Maines of American Continental Tech Labs. They all helped us out a lot, especially with all the children's activities, and just wanted to give them a thank you.
Mr. Johnson? Ms. Doctor, do you have anything?
Well, just moving right along on our dog park, it's looking great. I want to thank Deputy Sparks and his inmate crew, and a lot of great city projects going on that I love to see us progress. I think it's the whole city's looking very, very good.
Mr. Brady, anything?
No.
Ms. Bryant?
I do not.
Mr. Bryant?
In your package, for the work session, you should have found the 911 report and audit. If you read over that, if you got any questions about all those figures, I'll be happy to try to answer those. Attended a solid waste advisory board meeting yesterday. If anybody else wants to serve on that board, that meets once a year, and it takes 2.5 hours of paperwork for the chairman, which I happen to be, afterwards. So, the solid waste advisory has, the landfill, or not the landfill, the convenience centers have met their goals, and they have been ranked one of the best in the state as far as recycling and the way they do away with things. And the biggest thing that caught my eye was that they had 392 tons of tires. That's a lot of tires on the side of the road that people take care of. And so they recycle all of them. They'll recycle everything with glass. So I will have those minutes and those reports and a copy of that for next month.
Thank you. I don't have anything else. We've already discussed the Spring Fest we have. Turn it over to, Mr. Bowling, his report.
Thank you, Mayor. You may have noticed a bit of change in your packets this month. I replaced the memos that I traditionally write with every action item with an agenda information sheet. I think it's a lot more concise, a lot more informative, and I hope you noticed that and like that change. We're preparing to reopen the Greenway. I don't have a firm time frame yet, but we're going to open it up in 2 sections. Obviously, we're going to have to barricade off the damaged area from a very safe distance, but at least people will be able to start enjoying it again. We're going to give it a good cleaning prior to opening it back up, and hopefully maybe by middle of the next week, we'll have it open in 2 sections. So looking forward to that. Speaking of reopening, I've also had several people ask me when the boat slips are going to reopen. The repairs are essentially done. We're waiting on the electrical inspection, which I believe is scheduled for Thursday. If that goes well, they could be reopened as soon as this weekend. Once we find out for sure that we're good to go, we'll be reaching out to all the renters and let them know. But we're optimistic that we may get open for the weekend. So far, our brush pickup, with the new schedule seems to be going very well. We knew it'd take some getting used to, but, complaints, at least that we've received, have been few and far between, which is always a good thing. The process certainly made it easier on the staff, and, we appreciate everybody being so accommodating, during the change, but so far, so good. If you haven't already, and I know some of you have, but please reach out to Kelly as soon as you can. Let her know if you plan on attending the TML conference in June. The conference itself is Sunday the 23rd through Tuesday the 25th, but keep in mind that that Saturday, there will be utility board training that you all can take advantage of if you're interested in that. The rooms are going to fill up fast, as they usually do, especially at the host hotel, and we don't want anybody to have to stay off site unnecessarily. So if you could let Kelly know pretty quick on that, we'll get you taken care of. Finally, just a reminder, this Friday we're having to get together for Joyce. We'll be gathering here at 10:30 in the conference room and plan on eating around 11. I hope all of you can join us for that as we celebrate with a small token of our appreciation for Joyce. And that's all I have, Mayor, unless you have any questions.
You want any questions for the city manager? Mr. Brown?
I meant to ask Kelly, and it just hit me again. The training, is that the second part or the first part? I told her to sign me up for it, but I didn't. I was afraid that it was gonna be the same training we had the first time, it wouldn't do any good. Unless it's just different training and it counts toward hours.
I think it just counts toward hours. There's several different sessions of it.
So that should get those of us who have got one session that should complete us.
Anyone else? All right, item 7 is addition of items to the meeting agenda received after the close of the agenda deadline, and seeing those. There is no unfinished business, so we'll go right into new business. Number A is award a bid for construction of the Fort South Physical Amphitheater to Skilled Services LLC in the amount of $498,330, with ordinance and deductions implemented to bring the total project cost below the $500,000 budget. Ms. Lindsay White is here for perspective take. If anyone has any questions, to hear a motion to award this bid.
Move for the adoption.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Brown, second by Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown, do you have any comments or questions?
Just that I want to commend the city manager for working with the contractors. You know, all the bids came in high. This is $500,000 free money that we got from Governor Henry, and I'm just tickled that we're able to do it. May not be able to do everything that was on our Sears and Roebuck wish list, but I think with the staff that we've got, some of those things may be accommodated afterwards or during or something. But looking forward to having it. I hope that takes the place of shooting the cannon.
What's that to say about that? Ms. Wright, do you have any comments?
I don't, Mr. Brown said it well.
Council, do we have anything else? Madam Clerk, will you call the roll on awarding the bid?
Councilmember Brackett,
Yes.
Councilmember Brown,
Yes.
Councilmember Charles.
Yes.
Councilmember Humphries,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stockton,
Yes.
Councilmember Wright,
Yes.
Mayor Hill.
Aye.
7 ayes.
Item B is adoption of light duty policy for the city of Kingston as recommended by the safety committee. Your motion to adopt this policy.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. Brown.
I'm on the roll tonight.
Absolutely.
Guys, if you've ever worked with a lot of people that have strenuous jobs and they come in and get cut or back hurts or finger hurts or something, and it's a workers' compensation claim, one, that's a premium that goes up the more you use it and the more events that you have. But two, most people don't understand that if you're out for workers' comp, it only pays 66%. And if you're out, so I think this is, again, the safety committee and the city manager did a good job putting it together. We're going to try to copy and mirror this one with ours, because we at the county, we don't have a light duty, but we're limited on the light duty. Sometimes you can't do it, but again, that gets your employees that are faithful to you I mean, this is a good benefit for them. Hope they don't have to use it.
Dr., do you have anything?
Yeah.
Council. Madam Clerk, call the roll on adoption of this policy.
Councilmember Brackett,
Yes.
Councilmember Brown,
Yes.
Councilmember Childs.
Yes.
Councilmember Humphries,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stockton,
Yes.
Councilmember Wright,
Yes.
Mayor Hill.
Aye.
7 ayes.
Item C is adoption of resolution 190409-01, calling for a public hearing on proposed annexation of parcel 003.01, as shown in the Rome County Tax Map 052 in the city of Kingston, by owner consent and approving a plan of services. Your motion for adoption of this resolution.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. Brown. Motion by Mr. Brown, second by Ms. Wright. Mr. Brown?
No, we'll have tight times with our budget. This doesn't get us much money, but it gives us a little bit. Anytime we have people that want to be part of us, used to, we had to pull teeth to have people be part of the city. So hope the rest of them on that road want to get inside the city. If you'd like to, you can take the road also.
Ms. Wright?
No, like Mr. Brown said, we welcome them to the city, and I believe this is the second one we've done this year. And, I think the planning commission has went over this well, and this is just part of the process.
Council? Comments? Questions? Madam Clerk, call the roll for the resolution, please.
Councilmember Brackett,
Yes.
Councilmember Brown,
Yes.
Councilmember Childs.
Yes.
Councilmember Humphries,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stockton,
Yes.
Councilmember Wright,
Yes.
Mayor Hill.
Aye.
7 ayes.
Item D is approval to surplus equipment. I think we've got one piece of equipment, police department to surplus, 2007 Trailblazer. To hear a motion to surplus this to gov deals.
Move surplus.
Second.
Not giving anybody else any time tonight. Motion by Mr. Brown, second by Ms. Stockton. Mr. Brown, do you have anything?
We don't need to get rid of it.
Ms. Stockton? Council? And I'll clerk call the roll on the consent and approval of surplus.
Councilmember Brackett,
Yes.
Councilmember Brown,
Yes.
Councilmember Childs.
Yes.
Councilmember Humphries,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stockton,
Yes.
Councilmember Wright,
Yes.
Mayor Hill.
Aye.
7 ayes.
That being the agenda, end of the agenda, regular meeting is adjourned. Now I'd like to call the regular Kingston Beer Board meeting to order. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Member Brackett,
Yes.
Member Brown,
Present.
Member Childs.
Present.
Member Humphries,
Present.
Vice Chair Stockton.
Present.
Member Wright,
Present.
Chairman Hill.
Present. Do I hear a motion to approve the previous minutes as written?
I'll make the motion.
Motion made, Humphries, is there a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, call the roll on the minutes. There was nothing, no business last month either.
Councilmember Brackett,
Yes.
Councilmember Brown,
Yes.
Member Childs.
Yes.
Member Humphries,
Yes.
Vice Chair Stockton,
Yes.
Councilmember Wright,
Yes.
Chairman Hill. 7 ayes.
With no business, the beer board is adjourned. Now I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of the Kingston Water Board. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Member Brackett,
Here.
Member Brown,
Present.
Member Childs.
Present.
Member Humphries,
Present.
Vice Chair Stockton,
Present.
Member Wright,
Present.
Chairman Hill.
Present. To hear motion for the previous minutes of the last month's water board meeting.
Make a motion.
Second. The motion is second. Ms. Stockton, Mr. Childs, Ms. Stockton, you see any corrections or deletions?
No.
Mr. Childs. Members? Call the roll on the minutes.
Member Brackett,
Yes.
Member Brown.
Yes.
Member Childs.
Yes.
Member Humphries,
Yes.
Vice Chair Stockton,
Yes.
Member Wright,
Yes.
Chairman Hill. 7 ayes.
Now it's time for citizens' comments. Do we have anyone that wishing to address the water board tonight? Seeing none, we'll go on to the utility director's report. Mr. Bowles.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have just a few items here in addition to the information in my written report. As we mentioned a minute ago, Chase mentioned, we are hosting the annual TNUD fishing tournament this Friday at Ladd Park. It's the first time first time they've had it on Watts Bar, and we're very excited to have them here. Most, if not all, of the fishermen will be from outside of the county, so I think it's a great way to introduce them to Kingston. And they're going to be launching the boats, of course, at First Light. Their staff will be around throughout the day, so if you get a chance, go by, say hello to them, and join us in thanking them for choosing Kingston for their tournament. They've been really good to work with, and really haven't asked anything of us at all, so that's always nice, but certainly good to have them. Jimmy Agee and I met last week to discuss the water line extension on Gallagher Road that you recently approved. One bit of good news we've got already on that is PDOT is not going to require us to have it engineered. That's going to save us time, and more importantly, going to save us money. We're working on coordinating the schedule with that now, but due to the proximity, we want to do it prior to the proposed expansion of Waggles. It's currently before the Planning Commission, so be looking for that to start up fairly soon. Finally, just a couple of highlights from our written report that I wanted to point out to you. Kind of the highlights there. Our line loss was down last month to just over 17%, which is a bit higher than the 16% average we strive for, but a lot less than the state average, and thankfully not the 75% like one utility that was recently talked about. So certainly a good number there. A big part of that that we do have is from old water lines, and as we've talked about, we're excited to start working this year on a line replacement plan that hopefully we can present to you that can guide us forward on some much needed replacement of some of these old water lines, and maybe bring that number down even more. On the wastewater side, obviously the month of March was certainly drier. We had just under 6 inches of rain and 31 million gallons through the plant. To put that in context, that's down from roughly 45 million gallons a month that we had for January and February each. So a couple of heavy rain events, but still had a pretty significant amount come through, and no overflows reported. So your sewer plant is doing exactly what it's designed to do. So that's all I have, Mayor, unless you have any questions.
Does anyone have any questions for Mr. Bowman? Seeing no questions for you, and there's no business on the wonderful agenda tonight, does anyone have anything else? Seeing none, this meeting's adjourned. How's that?
We counted on board meetings.
Thanks. And this morning, I'm probably laptop. But I got double agenda notes, I got double light duty notes, so I need to go back to somebody else.
I didn't get minutes either.
Okay, well, just leave it. Oh, okay. Strike it out then.
So we're gonna start at the top and work our way down.
Let you and Kelly work that.
I never heard you make that.
Hey, look here. Just wanted you to know I was here.
Trying to get water and get in.
Huh? Any water in your car? Yeah, that wash it.
Yeah, I'm good.